Good evening, everyone. I hope your day has been going well so far. Thank you for taking the time to join us today. We are basically going to be going over the Power BI pilot and introducing the tool internally at BlackRock. Please keep yourselves on mute if you don't have anything to say, and please save the questions towards the end of the call. If we can go on to the next slide, I can walk us through the agenda really quick. So we are basically going to be touching point on some of the main project deliverables, the introduction, the background, the scope, objectives, and things like that. You'll be learning more about a team as the presentation goes on. And yeah, I'm going to pass on the buck to get us started.
Thanks, Tanisha, for the wonderful introduction. So just kind of a quick review, data visualization of at BlackRock. Well, what's going on? So we had a survey a few weeks back, and what we observed was we got really real feedback from all of you guys. So thanks for that. The first point was data was less comprehensive, and this is a major issue. The other thing that we need to do is improve data analysis. I think this is one of the primary requirements. We also needed a tool to act as a search engine for our huge data repository. Also, we needed a company-wide tool for data visualization. Right now, we have been having complaints that it's not very comprehensive, it's not very interactive. So we were contemplating as to what we need to do. So we are going to go on with by using Microsoft Power BI. Well, why Microsoft Power BI? First, it is going to help us make data interpretable and actionable across the organization. And we have major huge data stacks. We really need to make sure that these are very comprehensive for the client. And good data visualization is only going to help us as a great marketing tool. So definitely this was something that we were interested in. Also, it claims that it's going to help us increase our efficiency. So that is why we are focusing on MS Power BI. A project background for this project is we are basically introducing Microsoft Power BI for internal use initially. We're going to generate reports for senior management and executives. It's going to help them with data visualization better. It's going to make data-driven decisions, which is definitely going to help our efficiency as well. It's going to enable clients to view data in a user-friendly manner, make charts and graphs more interactive. Again, the client is going to get more visibility into the data and make our work more easier. I'm going to pass on to Tanisha to take over.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Shivani. So the basic goal of the entire project is to enable the use of Power BI within BlackRock. Some of the main objectives that we're going to have is making it the unanimous reporting and software analytical engine within BlackRock, replacing Tableau, Spotfire, and any other tools that we have. We are going to have a team of 8 developers. So our aim is to provide 24/7 support from our team because we are a pretty global firm working on all timelines. We do look to increase the adoption of users, that is, have around 2,000 people using Power BI licenses by Q3 of 2023, and also ingesting at least a minimum of 50 new projects by our team of developers by Q2 of 2023. We look to introduce the tool Power BI within BlackRock itself, and we'll be doing that with roadshows where we are basically going to different verticals and introducing the tool via a presentation. At least 15 a month is our goal in that case. The acceptance criteria that we have is that the tool and the application should be packaged for release within the firm. We will be accomplishing that by working with the SAM team and the packaging team themselves. The tool should exist to connecting data sources with ease because as a company, we have a lot of data and we utilize a lot of different data sources to store that data, varying in security guidelines. We should make sure that the tool can connect to these data sources before we publish the tool for everyone to use, because that could lead to some fires later down the line if it does not. We are looking to partner with Microsoft for training and continued support throughout the entire process and even in the future, and 24/7 support from the development team for internal users of Power BI. Working with Microsoft, we are going to be creating tutorials for Power BI, basically Power BI 101s, that will be assisting the users to create their own reports. Some of the exclusions that we have are that we are not going to be storing or owning the data that we use. We are just going to be representing it. We are not looking into integrations that Power BI has with existing tools used by the company. Maybe down the line, but as of right now, that is not our priority. Our priority is showing the data in a more user-friendly way. Nor are we looking to nor are we looking to present the completed reports that we create. That is on the clients, and we are just more the creators of the reports themselves. I'm going to pass in the buck so you can meet our wonderful team and go through whatever we are in charge of. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Shibani and Tanisa, for the wonderful descriptions here. So I am going to introduce the great and the most capable team for this project, like those who are working on this like, a very wonderful project here. So Miss Maxim will be heading the project as a managing director, and she will also be working as a sponsor here. So she will deal with all these projects' strategic significance. And Mrs. Smith will be the product owner, who is the primary stakeholder of this product, and he will be like she will play a very important role in the engagement, in the most engagement in the process and the successful product development. And Mr. Stark will be acting as a scrum master, so he is going to manage the whole team and regulate the communication between the product owner and all these teammates. Can you please go to next slide? Yeah, and Miss Tanisa will be working as like team lead here for this project, and she will be heading all these development team. So she will be mostly responsible for the team's execution and the quality for the developing product. And most importantly, she will be responsible for the team's culture and environment and overall growth for the of the people on it. And Miss Parker will be a junior team lead. She will be mostly supporting Miss Tanisa throughout this product development. And Miss Arusi will be working as a business analyst, and she's going to do like all kind of research into the product, and her primary responsibility will be scout the market. So Mr. Bark will be working as a software architect, and he will be looking at like the functionality, performance, and the comprehensibility and the security aspect of this product. And Mr. Moir will be working as an engineering manager. So he will be responsible for developing the overall concept of this new product that we are going to introduce in the BlackRock. Then Miss Sibani will be heading the programmers team, and she will be training new software developers and the computer programmers. And Dr. Roy will be working as a project accountant, and so he will also be monitoring the overall progress and the budget of the projects with the managing director. And for more contacts, you can so the whole contact list will be shared with the all the team members. So you can look at all the contact details and try to reach out the people whenever you want. Yeah. So thank you. I am going to pass now to Mr. Berg for the next slide.
Thank you, Sajid. So for the major deliverables, we're going to have the development of the work breakdown structure. We're going to kick off our project with that. We're going to be developing a communication plan, a data assessment report, a data strategy roadmap, our governance frameworks. We're basically going to have, we're going to be implementing, we're going to be developing an implementation plan. And then we're going to be gathering tutorials and developing tutorials in order to educate our employees, as we're going to be giving out 24/7 support. We're going to be putting more effort into training our employees so they can give that service. And we're also going to be starting the implementation of the actual project after we're done with the planning, as it's going to take a long time, as we can see on the next slide. It's going to take around 5 months to actually complete the implementation part of the project. So while in this part, we're going to have to fill out all the acceptance criteria and everything. So we're going to be doing our planning beforehand, so we don't delay this operation. So we're also going to be having monthly meetings to keep our team on track. Right after we finish the development of the work breakdown structure, we're going to be having our monthly meetings until the end of the project. So I'll pass it on to Arishu to continue.
Thanks, Burke. Hi, so I'm going to talk about the assumptions we're making for this project. The first one we want to look at is that the business case for this pilot has been agreed upon by all key stakeholders. So we have had the discussions with the stakeholders who are providing us the budget for this project and what the deliverables and schedule is going to be. The next is that Microsoft will be providing training to the relevant teams as part of the contract, and we will be assisting them in doing so. Microsoft will also help us resolve any major issues that we will be having with the tool performance going ahead in the 6 months duration of the project. The next is that the departments who want to utilize Power BI and want to work on projects with us will pay for the licenses that will be used for them. The next one is going to be that the clients will also provide clean and formatted data for the project that they want us to work on. So we will receive clean and formatted data. We will not be working with the clients to work on that because that is going to create some delays. The last but not the least was going to be that the sponsors will be providing the funding for this project going ahead because we will need that for continuous development after we end this pilot. We can move to the next slide. Let's talk about the negative risks now, or these could also be some issues that we might encounter during this project. To start with, there could be a delay in achieving the 50 project and the 2000 user milestone that we have targeted for this pilot due to various reasons. So that is something we need to check for and be ready for. The next is that the client departments might have issues paying for the license because of their budget problems. So we will have to also work around those problems going ahead. Client teams may also not be able to provide or may not adhere to our rule to have just data that would be clean and formatted. So that could also create delays, and we would also have to address that. Next would be there could be production issues when we try to launch this on the BlackRock app market. So we that could also create delays, and Microsoft will help us with that. But that's again a risk we will be we might encounter in this project. Last but not the least, again, is that information security requirements have to be met. And if they will not be met, that could also have some problems going ahead in the project, which is why we also have an information security representative on our team for the project. Let's move forward. We can also look at some positive risks or opportunities going ahead in this project, because let's say we get some great response and people are accepting this project, the Power BI product, we are going to get a lot more projects than the 50 that we're targeting. So that will also put a lot of load on our dev team. That's definitely a great thing, but that's also going to cause a lot of work from us. The next would be underestimating this interest might also cause us to create or conduct more training sessions. So we will also have to work with Microsoft to be able to provide as much training sessions as we can for all the users who would want to start working with Power BI. And the last over here is also that the extension in the project budget and timeline could also be possible because of the huge interest we are seeing. So of course, that's a good thing, but that's also something we need to look out for. That's all for me, and I can pass it on to Mr. Mayur, who's going to talk about the next steps. Thanks.
Thank you, Arushi. As part of next step, we would like to discuss our project rollout plan. Our first stage of the rollout plan will be to involve a pilot group who will test drive the tool. As a big company like BlackRock's, it has numerous verticals. We will use a diverse pilot group involving different teams, backgrounds, tenors, etc. And we're definitely not shying away from the people who ask a lot of questions, as their feedback will help improve the tool in the long run. Next step would involve creating on-demand learning for employees. And as Arushi was mentioning, we have collaborated with Microsoft to help us with training the employees. As part of learning, certificates will be also awarded to those who finish this training. This will encourage employees to take the course and showcase their achievement and skill. Stressing the urgency of Power BI integration is crucial. Resistance to change is like second nature to organizations. Don't we all think at some point, why change a process that is working fine? This persistent resistance to change can exist for long after implementation if you don't make it a point of instilling the urgency and importance of this transition. This is why it's critical that leaders of the company drive the importance of the tool's usage to its employees. To convince the leaders that the tool is indeed going to be effective, 90 days of Power BI usage will be free of cost to every department's cost center. This will give employees ample time to learn and test Power BI's capabilities. Next slide, please. Moving on to the final phase of the project, we are going to be tracking the usage of Power BI at the company to avoid some of the negative consequences that Arushi mentioned earlier. We will be renegotiating the contract with Microsoft depending on the usage of Power BI within the company. This will avoid wasting valuable monetary resources in case we don't meet the number of targeted users. As part of the ongoing maintenance and expert support, there will be a dedicated team that will support employees during the critical times like product launch and deployment. We also hold visualization competitions across the company that will showcase and recognize winning members and teams globally. And finally, feedback will be collected on a quarterly basis to help overcome challenges with the usage of Power BI. With this, I would like to conclude the presentation and thank you all for patiently listening. We are very confident that this tool will keep BlackRock on track for our commitment to keeping up with the latest technology and be leaders for other financial institutions to follow. We have an FAQ page and a helpline email that you can reach out to for questions during the pilot phase and after the deployment of this project. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much to the entire team for your beautiful presentations. If you have any questions, now would be a good time to bring them up. And if not, you can always just reach out to us via the FAQ page or our email ID. And we look forward to seeing you in the next meeting. Thank you for your time.
Thanks.
Thank you, everyone.